I'd love to hear your thoughts on being a certain level/degree of a fan, specifically furry, but that's just a suggestion. The original question was a little bit longer, but thankfully the poster left TLDR, so that's basically the part you got there. There was also a little bit more about how she herself has a relationship to certain kinds of animals, and how she also is part of more than one fandom and therefore has a different level of involvement with particular fandoms. So back to the question about different degrees, and I would say yes, obviously there are different degrees of being a fan, like from the casual, for example, if we are talking about a TV show, the casual watcher is, or when we talk about, for example, furry art, somebody who simply enjoys the aesthetics without being deeply involved and seeking it out in particular. Just somebody who is like looking at a nice piece of art and it's like, oh, I like this. This is particularly this anthropomorphic aspect is really speaking to me. But without going any further. Now, especially when we are talking about fandoms, there is not only the aspect of liking what you are a fan of, but also getting involved in the community. And I personally would say, yes, this is a different degree. It is not necessary to count yourself as somebody. For example, I only became an active member of the furry fandom about 2 years ago. However, retrospectively, I consider myself being a furry since I was 17? I don't know. In 2001, I actually was in the USA and came across, and I watched a lot of movies there when I was there, because what else do you do when you're kind of a visitor from a different country and spend a lot of time in America? You watch movies! Why not? But yeah, one of the DVDs I watched was the musical Cats, and I had pretty much my epiphany like, okay, I am maybe a little bit too much into this to just call this a casual interest in anthropomorphic stuff. So basically, retroactively, I call myself a furry ever since I really got my crazy about cats. And I was on this state for a long time, then I started seeking being more interested in furry art. I at some point created my furry affinity account, stuff like this, and but only became an active member, as I mentioned before, 2 years ago. So yes, there are different degrees, and it's really like a matter of how comfortable you are about being a member of a fandom, especially a furry fandom, which has kind of a little bit of a connotation going on with it. And you don't have to call yourself a furry, for example, or a brony, or a brown coat, or an otaku, if you don't feel comfortable with it, and if you think you are not involved enough to count it. But there are different levels of involvement, and that's basically what I wanted to get over. And you also asked me about labeling and when you should label yourself, and because somebody else also asked this, I would say this is a nice topic for the next time. So next time in 3 minutes I'm going to talk about labeling yourself after fandoms. Yep. What was this for an ending? What does yam mean?